Yeah, So, um, what you think? Flow was popping, Mr. Fantastic. What
Um, so I think I choose to intentionally leave race out of this with my own perception because fact of the matter is we don't actually have any reason to believe that there was a race component specifically between them. That's added in after. It could be there, but at this point in time, there's no reason for me to believe it is. There's a very similar thing that when I was in high school, there was a stabbing death at my high school in the parking lot too. It was actually a black guy that killed an Italian guy, but there's absolutely no racial component there. It's just male machismo, and these sort of confrontations escalate quickly and accidentally. I'm sure it looks like that to me, but I'm just going with the little bit of information that we have. I don't think that there's enough reason to believe that any motive one way or the other.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody. Yeah, nothing about this was a racial thing. This was just two kids, two teenage boys getting into a fucking altercation and one taking it too far. I can't believe motherfuckers is justifying this shit, bro. These are kids, dog. All right, these are minors. People talking about standing your ground and self-defense. How many fights you been in? All right, kids fight. So do you understand the slippery slope that you create when you say, "Oh well, he put his hands on him"? So hey, you FAFO, bro. That's for grown people, dog. You setting a very
until it's a white kid in that situation, and then they'll be hollering, "Stand your ground."
Oh no, you're saying
what are we talking about?
Oh, because we're talking about reasonableness and morality, brother. That's what we're talking about.
But fantastic. Our point is they don't.
Who is they?
They don't.
They don't what?
A lot of white folks. When that kid got killed in Ohio, you know what I heard? Oh, he was doing this. Oh, he was doing that. When they literally pulled a drive-by.
Oh, you talking about the not Tamir Rice? Yeah, Tamir Rice. Tamir Rice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but what I'm saying, but that's so we gonna be like them. We gonna be like the pieces of shit.
Because guess what? If we not, we just gonna take L's. To keep it solid with you, yes. Like what do you like?
We're looking at a situation, right? So do you care about?
Hold on. Wait. So first and foremost, that's not the same, Tommy, because that was a cop killing kids.
No, what I'm saying, Fantastic, was the reaction. What I'm saying is the empathy that you're giving, we don't receive that ever.
No,
they try to make you look older. They try to make you into a monster. They come up with every single excuse why that happened to make sure they're literally trying to free the cop right now in Minnesota.
I understand all of that, bro.
Zimmerman sold his gun at an auction.
I understand all of that. I blame niggas for that. Niggas talk, dog. Niggas, this is the problem, man. My bad.
It's always our fault because we held to the highest standard on earth.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not held to the highest standard. It's like how you gonna you can't claim to be about something and hold yourself to a very, very little to nothing needed to take a life.
They do it all the time.
You can't land a handful of weirdos to drive your worldview. Somebody out there
talking about.
Somewhere out there in the sea of Americans, someone's going to want to buy Zimmerman's gun or whatever, right? That's not reflective.
It wasn't just one, my guy. He had a lot of bids on that gun.
Yeah, but those are clearly pieces of shit, Tommy. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. Okay. I mean, as wild as it may sound, I'm pretty sure if a motherfucker if somebody found one of King Von's old guns and you put it up for auction, some nigga want to buy it because it's King Von. So that's what I'm saying, man. We start looking at this shit.
I doubt it, but I got you.
They do it too. When we do this, they do it too. Shit, I can understand from an adult conversation, bro. But this is a dangerous precedent to set for kids and send a message to kids, and especially too. Again, nobody cares when black kids kill black kids. This is the problem. Y'all niggas don't rah like we don't rah like this when a black kid's getting killed by another black kid every day, bro. But because it's this, and now, like you said, you got the racial component, everybody cares. People only care when the white man did it, or the white man's involved, or in this case, a white boy's involved.
So have I missed a rah when they white kids kill other white kids? Because that happens as well.
That's what I'm saying. But they don't have any of this outrage in general, Tommy. It's so many things on the negative. For one, they don't kill each other as much as whatever. And I know you got Columbine and school shooters and shit and whatever, right? That's rare though. And when they do, though, they definitely, I mean, for those situations, that's a very, very somber moment and a very, very tragic situation. That's the way they treat it. They don't make excuses for it and all this other stuff or whatever. But the thing about this is, man, I think we gotta
You said
just
they
get
don't make
out.
excuses for it, my nigga. The little nerd dude that smoked up Columbine. They absolutely. Oh, he was this. He was bullied. He, like, come on, dog. What are we talking about? We living in the same America? Because they absolutely made excuses for him.
They didn't make no excuses for the Columbine killers, bro.
Yeah,
They
nobody.
had
They didn't talk. Wait. So they did not talk about how he was bullied in school.
the students said he was a weirdo and he was an outcast. No one was giving him sympathy. They was just
You got it.
describing who he was.
Hmm.
The people, the students, of course, you ask kids that go to school with other kids.
I'm not talking about the kids, my G.
I
Not
never
talking
heard
about the
one
kids.
white person. I never heard in my lifetime one white person say, "Oh, it's a shame" or whatever. I never heard anybody give any sympathy to the Columbine killers, bro.
I heard sympathy, and not necessarily like let them go, but I definitely heard sympathy.
Well, that's
And
true.
okay, so how about
I
shooting
can't
up a
tell you what
church and
you
then
heard.
taking on the Burger King? Would that be considered sympathy?
Oh, that's the Dylan Roof,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's fucked up. It's not. That's super duper fucked up. But you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Something to where. How did he make it out of there? How did he make it out?
made it out of there the same way all these dudes make it out of
Let
there.
me
But
As y'all continue, let me just ask a question because this is what happened to one of the examples I brought up. Mr. Fantastic, what was your take on this Sonya Massey thing?
Who was Sonya Massey?
She got shot in the kitchen with the water.
I told y'all the cop was a piece of shit, and he committed
Hmm.
murder in broad daylight, and he was convicted the next day. It was completely, totally out of pocket.
He set her up for that.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Clearly.
Okay. No, because I had brought up Officer Tatum, and immediately his whole premise was just dismissed.
Yeah, like, bro. That's why I'm look, bro. I'm not back to blue. I'm not, pro black. I'm real life situation, and call the shit as simple as you can call it, bro. That Sonya Massey shit was despicable, and from my understanding, that officer was immediately fired and arrested, charged, and he's still locked up awaiting trial. My understanding, right? This situation right here, though, like I said, this is why we have to put things in its proper perspective. These aren't adults. This isn't the police. These are two kids that had an issue, and one kid took it too far. Should the white boy have ever put his hands on him? No. But are we saying that because somebody puts their hands on you on school property, it's okay to kill them?
yes.
Wait.
What are we talking about?
Tommy, that's crazy.
So
That's insane, Tommy.
wait, so
That's Texas.
do you have more information? Because I noticed you said they had an issue. You mean they had an incident?
But yeah, issue, incident, that right there. So no, not issue as in previous. There's no it's a lot of false information out here. Previous to that incident, this incident that occurred in the death of the Austin kid, right? There was no previous history of them having conflict. Okay. The boy pushed him once. Okay, he didn't even get to touch him a second time. Before he could touch him the second time, he was stabbed in the chest and dead. Pretty much all but instantaneously.
Now, how do you reconcile? What does he do in that instance, Mr. Fantastic? Because we know and we say it all the time, ain't nobody fighting.
Well, but that's for adults, Hamp.
But why?
I
guess that's the question is why is that for adults?
Because it's just like how cussing not for kids. Hamp is certain things that cigarettes aren't for kids, drugs aren't for kids, alcohol isn't for kids.
Legally, is it for adults?
What do you mean?
Legally, is it for adults? Legally, if I'm a minor and somebody puts their hands on me, since I'm a minor, I don't have the right to defend myself.
So no, listen, I'm talking about. So the stand your ground shit is according to minors too. It applies to minors. I just read all the statutes and shit on it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to understand. Like why?
But so again, there's a right and wrong and a legal and moral. So now, like what I'm saying, do you understand the precedent that you're setting? If you're saying, yeah, he put his hands on you, kill him. Stand your ground. For the kids, you understand how crazy that's gonna be?
But we literally just had an adult do it to a minor.
Where?
Bro, Is that not what happened with Zimmerman? Because last time I checked, Trayvon ain't had no
You
weapon.
said Jess. That's 12 years ago. 15 years ago. Time you said Jess. I'm not being facetious, brother. But you said Jess did it.
So let me ask a question. Let me ask Mr. Fantastic and Flo, they just got here, right? 'Cause I'm just trying to understand the logic, right? So there was a story that was talking about where the dude was breaking into somebody's car. It was in Texas, I think. And they ran down, the guy who car was ran out and shot him. And it was a younger guy, 17, 18 years old, trying to break into the car. And people were saying, what? Play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. Right? Shouldn't have been breaking into the man's car. So I'm just trying to understand it. Where does the logic of defending yourself, your property, are you just saying it's predicated on age? Like, what is the consistent logic here?
So this is the difference. And the same thing happened up in DC. I too think, remember the 13-year-old boy got shot? He robbed like 80 cars or something, and he ended up getting shot like 2 a.m.
By the police?
No, by a property owner.
Oh, it was an undercut. It was a person who was actually law enforcement, and they shot him when he was trying to get in the car. Yeah,
we're talking two separate things. So that's another thing to it too. So if it's a law enforcement officer, he's already, you know what I mean? But listen, I'm talking about, you don't know who a stranger is 2 a.m. breaking in your car. This is direct confrontation, HAMP. So that's what I say. We got to put everything and just be fair.
But no, but 100%. But take this walk with me, right? Because I'm just trying to understand it, right? So they shot him breaking into a car. It's not imminent threat. But I heard people saying, well, you shouldn't do that. So like, where does what you shouldn't do because you don't control your repercussions? When does that insert itself?
Well, that's what I'm saying about the shit that you can't control. And I think, like I said, for this particular situation, this would be something if we set the precedence as to where now no child is safe. If we make killing okay for kids, bro, you understand how crazy it's gonna be, HAMP? I know grown people, even though we say niggas not fight no more, people still fight. It's way more fights than shootings, right? Okay. Even though we say that, we understand going into it that way. The problem is, again, you have to worry about the message you send into the kids, bro. If we get out here, we like, oh well, you put your hands on them, shit, kill them. Now what? You know how impressive?
I don't like that though, because in the last 15 years, how many more Zimmerman situations have we had? And he got off on that shit.
Hold on. Let's get two takes. Let's get 2 takes real quick. So I understand Mr. Fantastic's premise is if we make that a precedent or try to, right? How much would that exacerbate the mortal violence essentially, right? What you think, Flo?
I think that I agree with Mr. Fantastic's point that we shouldn't be using that defense when, if he's a minor, we can just treat him like a minor, right? There's already protections there for minors to not be charged as adults. I think that the degree of murder he's charged with is definitely overcharged. I mean, like I said, to me, this looks like a situation that got out of control. I don't think anybody was intending to do much more than posture and show turf. So yeah, I hope they bring, his charges down, definitely. And I think that we should I'm a fan of treating minors like minors in the court system. I don't like all this charging kids as adults shit. I don't like over prosecution. I don't like prosecutors at all. So yeah, I'm pulling for the kid.
Yeah. Okay. And pulling for him, you saying like he should get the penalty and punishment that's deserved based on the actions.
Correct. And I don't think that there's any reason to believe that he was intending to do anything more than panic. If you're in a tent, if you're outnumbered in someone else's tent and cornered, like that's an easy panic situation.
That wasn't the case though.
It wasn't.
That wasn't the case. That's found to be that's more rumors. That wasn't the case. The brother didn't jump him. Like I said, the brother told the story exactly how it happened. It matches up with the police report. The only person that touched him was Austin, the kid that died. The brother, like he said, he wasn't even looking at the situation. His back was turned. He turned around to see his brother stabbed. He didn't get jumped. He didn't even get punched. Okay, he didn't get punched.
The black kid who did the stabbing, he was in the other team's tent, right?
Yes.
So he was surrounded. The stabber was surrounded by other people.
Yeah, but no. Still no, because he wasn't. We don't know if he was there dolo, just him, and then the whole other team. But for whatever reason it be, it's still you can't. If you use that, now you're setting up the premise to where he could have got jumped. It was only one person that confronted him.
No, I'm not saying that.
No, but Flo's just looking at the circumstance. So the circumstance, he's under that tent, and what it seemingly happens, like was he invited there? Was it a downpour of rain? So now they just trying to get under a tent, and now he's under a tent that he's not supposed to be with the majority of that team that Austin went to. And so by nature, if you paint, because Flo, no, I'm not saying it like that, but defense attorneys, prosecutors, they have to paint a picture, right? And so the picture but from a defense attorney, I would be like, where Flo at? He was surrounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we doing litigation. Yeah, that's a great defense. Hey,
if I put myself in that kid's shoes, I understand how you would overreact and panic because you feel like
where you're gonna lose is, and Hamp notice he came with the weapon. He came with a weapon that he shouldn't have had on school grounds in the first place. Okay,
I mean, carrying a knife in Texas, you know.
I know I went tripping. Okay,
look, listen,
like, what are we talking about?
Hold on, you got to know the law. You can carry certain knives of certain sizes and certain lengths.
Have you ever been to Texas?
Not a lot.
They haven't.
So, like, do you see what they walk around with?
They haven't. So they haven't. Just real quick, they haven't qualified the knife either way yet, right? Yeah. They haven't qualified it as a legal knife or illegal knife. What is illegal is seemingly having that weapon on the property. Although when Tatum was reading through it, he was even having a little bit of a difficult time qualifying the knife as illegal because if it fits that statute,
I was gonna say it's based on the size.
Yeah, it could be used as a tool,
like a pocket knife.
Yeah,
so that's where it does get a little bit. But if he poked them in the chest, I would assume that's probably longer than 4 or 5 inches to get to it.
That's what I'm saying. And then
I don't think he hit his heart, though. I think people was also saying that.
That's what I'm saying. If he hit an artery or something like that.
They saying it hit his heart, man, in the chest. So like I said,
his heart? Okay.
Yeah.
He was popping.
So the thing, so for one, you can't carry a knife even for tools and shit, bro, on school property, Hamp. You know that.
I'm looking it up.
No, but when I'm just telling you, like, because when Tatum had his agenda, right? And I'm just saying that I'm putting that jacket on him because he wanted to wear it. And this is how I know he started out with this. I'm black and I got white family. You don't even got to say that. You see what I mean? Like, just saying, right? So
we know who Tatum is, though.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm putting this on him.
So and then too, still, even in that case, Hamp, so that would still be considered a concealed weapon, right? That's a concealed weapon. Being that he used it in the way that he used it, it is.
No, listen, because I'm in liberal ass California. You can carry a pocket knife because, like what him said, because it's looked as the tools, and you just happen to have a knife on there. If that's the case, then these Boy Scout niggas wouldn't be able to, like, they carry them pocket knives everywhere.
Yeah, but the Boy Scouts pocket knife is a pocket knife. So a pocket knife versus a fucking what's the name?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We got to find out what kind of knife it is. You're saying you can't have any knife at all.
I'll explain to you. So Tommy, if I have a utility knife or whatever, it's a utility knife is a tool. If I use it in the commission of taking somebody's life, it then turns into a weapon. So
but what I'm saying is, but the possession of it.
You can have in Texas, it's a 5.5 inch or shorter blade. That's a pretty damn long blade.
I was about to say that's a long ass blade.
I'm looking for the school specifics.
The phone is that, right? This is right. This is what, 5 inches, I think.
This is a 4-inch.
That's a long fucking knife.
Yeah, but either way, that's what I'm saying, bro. At the end of the day, no matter, he was not as a minor on school grounds at school fucking functions, bro. Show me the school district who have a weapon.
No, 100%. We would agree. I think that what you'll find, right, just because how it's being presented, like when Flo said, surrounded, it's an after school event, right? There's so many things. I've seen people get like sick. So up north, we have like gun laws that are like 3.5 years, 2.5 years, no exception and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right. People been able to paint a narrative to where they like it. You'd be surprised, man, what these prosecutors willing to do and what they willing to look at. And remember, conviction for murder one, to Flo's initial point, right? The what's the terminology? The degree of not degree.
Shit, I know what you're talking
like
about. Plausible
burden of proof. is super high as compared to a manslaughter where two kids dealing in bravado, right? Trying to prove a point with the girls around and etc. So it's interesting to look at the dynamics. Let me get Freezy and Shot and what's popping? Good shot.
Shalom, man. Greetings to all the brothers and sisters. Shout out to the first lady. Shout out to everybody, man. Everybody in the building.
Well, good.
What's going on? I think this is a sensitive case. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna. What I keep getting confused on is why they keep pinning the racism on Karmelo Anthony. I don't understand that. You know, now it's hard to ignore the complexities in this situation. It was a white kid that was killed. That same white kid was the initial aggressor. Now we have to ask ourselves why. Why did he take it upon himself to aggress this black kid? Why? Right? If there was any racism initiated, it was from the white kid. Now that's hard to say because the white kid ended up dying, right? But the black kid was not bothering anybody. The only crime he did, the only crime he committed before he stabbed the other kid was sitting up under a tent, which was not a crime. And here's another thing. It came out that these two Metcalf twins are known bullies. So we know that bullying is very sensitive in grade school. We know that. Like there's a psychological aspect of bullying. It really is. Right? And then we talking about a pot, we talking about a knife. You know how many kids that go fishing and hunting and camping that carry knives to school? This is not, we talking like this is some unheard of thing, carrying knives to school. Kids carry knives to school every day, especially them good old boys kids. They carry knives to school every day. Every day. It just so happened that this black kid, right, who has white friends too. That's the thing about it. You got to go check this kid's background. He don't just got black friends, he got white friends too. He had a knife in his bag and he was aggressed. And he warned this kid, bro, don't touch me no more. Don't touch me again. Now, listen, if you understand like defending yourself and the nature of this incident, he was not purposely trying to kill this boy. He hit that boy in the chest and ran. That's what he did. He hit him one time. He hit him one time and ran. Now, it would have been different to me. This is just my humble opinion. If he would have just hit him and kept hitting him. See, that's different. But when you hit somebody and run, you in fear of your life. You see what's going on. This guy got a reputation of being a bully, then his twin got a reputation, but I know that if I fight this dude, the other one gonna get in it too, because they got a reputation for it. Y'all finna get you off of me right now. Now, I don't think that he used good judgment by using his knife and everything. I will say that. I don't think that was good judgment. But this is a damn kid. This a kid. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that we need to start taking all of that into consideration. We talking about these boys like they actual adults and everything. No.
So, Freezy, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And then you could jump in. It's fantastic. I know you wanted to probably retort maybe. What do you think about the premise that Mr. Fantastic painted, which was these are children to set a precedent of if they put their hands on you, use lethal force. Mm-hmm. How would that seemingly permeate throughout the country in terms of setting what people should do or not do in these situations? Kids,
okay, so basically when you're dealing with children are the main ones that might use anything to hurt other kids. They might pick up rocks, they might pick up anything. Kids, just that's what they do. If we're saying kids should be more responsible in a physical altercation than adults, You know what I'm saying? I don't know what world we living in.
That
You feel what I'm
now,
saying?
now that word that Freezy put in there is a fantastic. That was something that I want you to reconcile
Responsible, the responsible.
because kids don't have the discernment, but we're saying adults can discern what can be dangerous, and yet and still we go to lethal results or lethal extent, which is why it's different when police are killing because police having what's the word I'm looking for,
Immunity or duty or
duty,
their
responsibility to discern, level set situations, de-escalate, and etc. That's why that's scrutinized differently. So now you put in this level of discernment on children to do or not do, but you don't want to put it on kids. That's something that'd be good for you to reconcile.
Okay, so that's very, very simple. Right or wrong. Okay, it's not a fucking responsibility, and you don't kill. Okay, that's what I know. We all tell our kids, hey, if you got to protect yourself, you protect yourself. You fight, but you don't kill. You don't pick up a knife. You don't touch guns. You don't play with guns. You don't play with knives. That's what we teach kids, right?
No.
What you mean no? What you mean no?
So my
Wait. Hold on. So now y'all teaching your kids to play with guns?
Yeah. So in context, my oldest daughter, I take her to the gun range. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's I said play with HAMP, and even still, is your daughter authorized to touch a gun outside of your presence?
No.
All right, so let's not be obtuse. Let's not do that. Let's have a genuine conversation, okay? Mm-hmm. Without supervision, without using it for the purpose that is intended to be used, you do not let your children play with weapons. That's something we learn in fucking elementary school. All right, okay.
And what did we all do since elementary school?
Hold on, the knife shit. And again, these are damn near adults.
Fantastic. Now let me add this in because I want you to mind it all the way through. Right, my oldest daughter, she got pepper spray and she got a taser.
I don't know how old is your oldest daughter? 16. All right, she's a teenager, Ham. You still don't give her.
She's a teenage, but that's why I'm trying to understand it.
Understand, but Ham, that's what I'm saying. So Ham,
she's little too. She's little.
You give it to your daughter because it's your daughter. Okay, you still don't give her a lethal weapon because again, it's questionable if she's able to have it. She can't have a handgun anyway. Okay, we know that, right? Because I'm pretty sure he's 21, even in Texas, on the handgun, right?
Yeah.
21
everywhere. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I know if you don't own a handgun, all right, the knife shit is where listen. A weapon becomes a weapon once you use it as a weapon. All right, you can have a little bitty ass fucking pocket knife, as long as you're using it to fucking twiddle wood and turn screws or whatever the fuck. It's a tool. As soon as you use it to harm another person, especially kill them, it's a weapon.
Like a hammer.
That includes your hands, right?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, your hands are never considered weapons, brother. That leaves
you out of your mind, nigga. My brother went to jail for that. What are you talking about?
No, you can
kill. It's what I can tell you, Tommy. It's what I can tell you. I guarantee you this: you will not find in any motherfucking legal paperwork of them saying your hands being weapons. That shit they say about boxers, that's false.
It's false. Yeah.
False.
Yeah,
So
you can murder somebody with your hands, though.
Yeah.
But you can.
There's no such thing as your hands being weapons.
The murder statutes are based on intent. Right, so if I intend to kill somebody, even if I choke them to death, it's still murder one. You see, so that, but yeah, a hammer can be changed from a tool to a weapon.
Yeah,
100%. Now, Mr. Fantastic, let me ask you this question, and I want to get shot in, but I just want you to, because I want to make sure the logic is fully broken down so we can understand it.
There's a couple of things I gotta address before we do this. So,
all right, then I got one more question, but it's right in line. Go ahead.
So Freezy, you're saying a lot of You're saying a lot of the rumors, bro, that haven't been proven. There's no proof of anything to say that either one of those white boys were bullies. Okay, and even if they were, he wouldn't know because they had no prior interactions. So even if they were the bullies you claim they to be, which again, that's rumors. Okay, he wouldn't know that.
Yes, he would.
He would.
Yes, he would.
Because they
know them.
Because bullies carry them. Bullies carry themselves a certain way.
Did you read the police report?
Hold on. Listen to what you just said. How would he know? Bullies carry themselves a certain way.
What?
No, first of all, hold on, wait. First of all, bullies have a thing called reputation. You don't have to actually personally know a bully to know that he's a damn bully. You don't got to actually personally know Debo to know Debo is a damn bully. You know what I'm saying? So, and here's another
I
thing.
don't know who Debo is.
Wait. Here's another thing.
Bro,
Here's
I've been
another
on
thing.
the other side of town at plenty of places when he was a
Bro,
teenager.
a reputation carries, bro. But here's the thing. That's discretionary. This is what I'm saying. You said it's still not good to kill somebody, right?
For a child, yes.
Right. I agree with you, right? But here's where you're jumping the gun. That still has to be proven in the court of law that this young kid was trying to kill Austin Metcalf. We don't know if he was trying to kill
him with a knife.
No, listen what I'm saying. He resulted in killing Austin Metcalf.
He stabbed him with a knife.
Okay, but listen to the verbiage. Was he actually trying to kill him? He hit him. No. Listen what I'm saying. You got to be careful with your verbiage because that actually matters in the court of law.
All I said is what happened. Listen, Freezy. I didn't add anything to it. I'm gonna say what I said from the beginning. He stabbed him, and he killed
that's
him.
what he did.
Crying, whatever. So this is the result, Freezy. This is why they're going for murder one. You always go for the highest charge, and then you get it down to whatever it's really gonna be. Okay?
Yeah.
Am I saying he intended to kill him? No. But at 17 years of age, if you pull a knife out and you stick a motherfucker with it, you have the opportunity to kill them. This is elementary school. This is in middle school. So let's not treat the fucking 17-year-old like a 7-year-old.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it. That's what I'm saying.
He had the option to use his hands. Like you said, he had the option to pick up a rock. He had the option to pick up any and everything else.
Right.
He used a fucking knife, stabbed somebody in the chest, and he died.
Yes, he had the option to pick up a rock. It might not have been a rock close to him, right? He had the option to use his hands. He probably seen his twin brother. This is what I'm saying. He used his knife, right? So we have to be careful with saying he tried to kill. We don't know. I don't think he tried to kill the boy. Most of the time, especially when you young, even if you use a knife, girls slice girls' faces with knives and razor blades every day. That doesn't mean that they're trying to kill somebody. No.
Okay, so Freezy, so Freezy, they have a wonderful charge to cover that. Freezy, what is it called?
Manslaughter or something? What?
No, attempted.
Okay. But okay, this is what I'm telling you. I know a girl personally in Kissimmee, Florida. This girl came in her personal space. Actually, she came in her personal space and she fought this girl. She started laying hands on the girl. And the other girl, the victim, stabbed the girl. And the girl died. Guess what? The girl that got attacked did not do 1 day in jail. I know this for a fact. So this is the point I'm trying to make. It's an unfortunate incident, but the point I'm trying to make is we pick and choose when a child is supposed to know. We say all the times on these panels, oh, your brain isn't fully developed until after 25 years old. Now, this boy should know everything in the world. 17, you know what I'm saying?
Not killing people, Freezy.
No, fantastic. I understand what you're saying, but we don't know if he actually intended on killing him. Listen what I'm saying. This is what I got to go off of. He hit him one time and ran, bro.
Okay, Freezy. You can shoot a nigga one time and run.
It's almost for sure that he didn't want to kill him.
Run. He asked, remember in the police report, he also asked, is he okay? Or he said something to the effect
could it be considered self-defense? He asked
that, then he said, how is he doing okay?
Yeah.
All right, let me read these real quick. We're going to get into it. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. See y'all in a few hours. All right. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.